Hello everyone, in this video I will be teaching you how to find squares using some shortcuts and how to know about squares. So we'll be using basically square number properties here, and this topic is from your chapter squares and square roots. So first of all, what is a square? When you multiply a number by itself you get a square. For example, if you have 2 multiplied by 2 you get 2 square, which is equal to 4. Now here I have written a square table for you. 2 into 2 gives you 4 and 3 into 3 gives you 9. You all know this. So the first thing we want to know is that what will be the unit digit of a square of the following number. Now even if you don't calculate or don't know the square of 81, we can always guess the unit or ones place digit of this number. How would I know what will be the unit digit of the digits? For that there is a simple trick here. You can remember this. Let me just clear this and tell you. So for example, you have 1 2 3. See how I'm writing? This is going to help you to learn this. And then I'll write and I say 9 8 7 6. Okay, so now if you have any number ending with 1 or 9, it always ends with 1. If you have any number ending with 2 or 8, it always ends with 4. If you have any number ending with 3 or 7, it always ends with 9. If you have any number ending with 4 or 6, it always ends with 6. And then the last one is 5, always ends with 5, and 0 always ends with 0. So that means this is how you can guess that if we find 81 square, I know that the ones place digit will be 1. And if you have 272 and you find the square of it, the ones place digit will be 4. Excellent. So let's see the second property now. You will be able to apply some more shortcuts here. Another very interesting property of square numbers is what I'm going to share with you. Now, just by looking at a number, we can predict not all the numbers, but like some of them definitely we can predict whether that number is a square of a number or not. For example, like here I've taken that you have to tell whether the following number, which is 1057, is it a perfect square or not. So remember I gave you some tips of looking at a number and looking at the ones digit of a square number. So when we observe this, if you see carefully, there are the digits are from 0 to 9, and I have not written all the digits here. That means definitely there are some digits which are missing. So let's find out which digits which are missing. So 2 is not there, 3 is not there. Can you see? And then 7 is not there, and 8 is not there. So that means if any number is ending with 2 or 3 or 7 or 8, that number is definitely not a perfect square. So we have a number here 1057. Is this a perfect square? Tell me. So no, it is not. Why? Because the digit at the ones place or units place is 7. Now how we will learn this? This is simple. You can remember it as 2 and 3 are together, 7 and 8 are together. And another way of learning is, we know that 2 plus 8 makes it 10 and 3 plus 7 also makes it 10. So this is another way, shortcut of learning this. So let's move to the third property now. These are the basically shortcuts. You can identify the squares and use them. Now, what happens if we want to find out that these properties they help in your MCQs type of questions. So now here, if 431 is there, and I want to know whether the square of 431 will that be an odd number or even number. So I can definitely write, looking at it, since 431 is an odd number. Can you see it is ending with 1? So that means its square will also be an odd number. Okay, and I look at the second number, it is 2826. Is this an odd number or an even number? This is an even number because it is ending with 6. So the square of an even number is always even. Okay, interesting, no? So now this one is very interesting. It says without adding, find the sum. You look at it. I mean, these are so many numbers, and how can you find the sum without adding? Now, this is really difficult. So for that, there is one thing that you have to observe is the numbers carefully. Is there any pattern that you see? This is what 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So one thing I can see that these are all odd numbers, right? And second thing I see that they are consecutive odd numbers. Consecutive means they're coming 3 comes after 1 and 5 comes after 3, so they are consecutive, and can you see no number is missing. So if such is a case where the consecutive odd numbers are given to you starting from 1, then you can write the sum of these numbers without even adding them up. So how would we do that? Square numbers will help us. So I will simply add, I'll change the color, that how many, I'll simply count the numbers. So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So how many odd numbers are given to you? 12 consecutive odd numbers are given to us, isn't it? So if you have 12 consecutive odd numbers, that means their sum will be 12 square. Interesting, no? So 12 square is how much? 144. So I have just written the answer without even adding this up. So let's do one more property quickly, which is again a shortcut which you can use it in your serial classes. So the next question is, how many numbers lie between squares of the following numbers? The numbers which are given to us, these are 12 and 13. And we don't have to tell the numbers between 12 and 13. I know there is no number. These are the consecutive numbers in accounting. What are the consecutive numbers? That they come one after another, like 7 and 8. They are consecutive numbers, or let's say 3 and 4. These are consecutive numbers, right? So now we have to find out in this question that we have to take a square of 12, and then we have to take square of 13, and then we have to find out how many numbers will come between the squares of these two. So I'm sure you know what is square of 12, that is 144, and the square of 13 is 169. And now you have to tell without counting that how many numbers will come between 144 and 169. Can you tell that? Okay, this is very simple. We can do it with the properties of square number. So the property of square number is that when you have two consecutive numbers, like as a 12 or 13, 7 or 8, any two consecutive numbers, then to know that how many numbers they come between the squares of these two numbers, you simply have to take the smaller number. Like here, the smaller number is 13 or 12, it is 12. So I'll simply take the smaller number, that is 12, and multiply it by 2. So like this is 2n, if n is a smaller number, right? And how much is 12 into 2? That is 24. So this means that when you count like 145, 146, like this, up to 168, there will be 24 numbers only. Interesting, no? So with this, I end my video on properties of squares, and then I will be now coming up with more videos to find out that to teach you that how to find squares of numbers, and also how to find the square roots. So this is Namita Basrotha from the YouTube channel Mathadies. Bye bye.